It is camping season in the Northwest, and we're going to help you pick the best generator for your camper. This is a selection of the generators that we carry at North 40. It's not all the generators that we carry, but this is a selection of the ones that we think you're most likely to use with your camper. We're gonna give you all the information that you need to pick the best one for your situation. So what are the things that we kind of need to know about our camper before we make any decisions?
I think load. The big ones.
How much power?
The big ones is going to be, yeah, exactly. So your big appliances is going to be what we're going to look at. So microwaves, refrigerators, air conditioning.
Air conditioning is the big one.
Air conditioning is the biggest one, I think.
You need to just do some math and figure out how much wattage you're going to draw, like you said.
What fits that middle ground where it has just the right amount of power that's not going to overload the generator or, you know, sell for your vehicle or for your RV.
Yeah. Here's what you have to know about all these with the numbers. It's all wattage, okay? So, and a lot of times, and this is a total marketing thing, that you're gonna name the generator, the model of the generator in the peak wattage.
The highest wattage.
The highest wattage.
Got it.
Which is basically like when your air conditioning kicks on, it needs a little bit more just to kick on.
Kind of that.
But it's not the actual running wattage. So you're always gonna see peak wattage or starting wattage and then running wattage.
Got it.
All right, so first up we have the Honda 2200. This is a super popular generator. You see this all over the place. Pretty basic, pretty simple. So it's 2522, so 2500 peak watts, 2200 running watts. Pretty basic and simple setup. You have two 120 volt regular 3-prong outlets on it. You have an eco mode, which is gonna throttle it down when you don't need it as much. It'll run a little bit quieter, lower. It'll conserve fuel, it'll be quieter. This one comes in just under 50 pounds and the noise level is about 56 dB. So pretty quiet, pretty light, pretty easy to cart around.
So up next, this is a Cummins Onan. It is a 2200, 2500 peak watts. Very similar set of details. We got
same 2522.
Your 120 up front here.
Yep.
Same eco mode. This is a pull start.
Yep.
So very
same
easy
as
to
the
start.
Honda. Yep.
Very similar. Some of the added feature on this one, we got 2 USB plugs up front.
Sweet.
So you got a little bit more of a modern adaptation up here. This one sits about 48 pounds and about 52 decibels.
Nice.
Run time is about 10 hours on a full tank, so it's a pretty nice little machine. And you know, you got your Cummins, so you got a pretty nice backing of a good brand there.
Yep.
Same thing with the Honda. So I mean, we're not out on the woods here without reliability.
Right. All right, so next we have the Black Diamond 2500. So this is a really great machine. A lot of the same features, still gonna be a pull start, but it's a little bit lighter. It's about 47 pounds.
Oh, wow.
And it's only coming in at like 46 decibels. So it's a little bit quieter. And this it's a 2000 2500. So it's a 2000 running watt, 2500 peak watt machine. So a little bit different. You still have the 220 volt plugs on it, and then a selector switch. And then this one also has a 12 volt cigarette lighter adapter plug on it as well. So here's the other thing about these 3 smaller ones. They can all be run in parallel, so which means that you can have 2 of them, link them together and double your wattage. So I know that, like, if you're thinking like, oh, now I have to buy 2 generators, but you know, I'm thinking more like I already have one.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. And these are pretty proprietary. So you need something like this, which is a parallel link kit. Now this one's for the Black Diamond. So the connections are different depending on what brand. So make sure if you already, like say you already have a Honda, maybe it's just easier for you to get another one.
They might have a special one.
They might have one that's a little bit different, a little bit special, but basically you run one to one generator, you're on the other pigtail to the other generator, and then you plug your camper into this and double power.
And that probably helps out with something that draws way more wattage than these probably can handle. I know we've spent time before we used your Honda one out on camp out, and your air conditioning didn't work.
You flip the air conditioning on, it just shuts right off.
That's something that you can utilize.
I already have one. Like, it'd be easier for me to just get another one.
Okay.
So, but you can link these together.
Very cool.
All right, so let's move on to some of the bigger ones.
All right, so the next one up is our Generac.
Yeah, this one's pretty cool.
This is very cool. So I'm gonna start off at the top. This one is propane and gas.
So you can choose either or.
So you can choose either or. Using gas, it is 3,800, 3,000 running.
Okay.
Using propane, you're at 3,400 starting and 2,700 running. So a little bit of differentiation.
Power difference.
The big one that happens with the gas versus propane is your runtime.
Okay.
So I think it runs at 13 hours on gas. That jump up to propane is 16 hours. Okay. So quite a bit
on a
more
single
runtime.
20-pound tank.
On a single 20-pound tank. So that's pretty cool. Other features we got the same main power. We have eco mode, and this is push start.
Push buttons,
Pretty
no pull
nifty.
start.
No pull start. And you got this really nice display up front. Next, we got our selector. We have a USB regular and a USB-C.
Okay.
Pretty sweet
A
feature.
little
A little more modern. We got 4 120s up front here. And then we have our 30 amp RV. And then you have your gas in. This one weighs in about 100 pounds, 107 around there.
Okay, so you're definitely getting
So
heavier.
You're getting a little bit heavier,
Right.
but I mean, there's trade-offs. You know, we
Right.
got a dual fuel system, etc. So
Right.
pretty.
Like we said earlier, like an AC unit on a camper is going to run between 12 and 2400 watts.
Yeah.
This would work.
Yep, that's it.
Yep.
On propane or gas.
And this is linkable too. You could link 2 of these together with the same kind of linkage. Yep.
All right. So
right.
moving on, we got
The Black Diamond 4650. So this is 3650 running, 4650 peak. And here's the cool feature about this one: remote start. Wow. Which is pretty sweet. This one weighs in about 100 pounds. You have a 12 volt cigarette lighter adapter. You have 220 volt 3-prong outlets, and then you have your 30 amp RV plug on this. And this again is linkable as well. So those are the best ones that we think will work for your camper. Figure out what you need.
Yeah.
And then make your best decision. You know, like all of these are linkable, so which means you can run 2 of them with the linkable Paralink adapter. And you know, so think about how much you're drawing, like you were saying. Where are you camping? Because if you're in a campground a lot, you're gonna want something quiet. You're not gonna want something
don't
that's
want to
really
wake the
loud.
neighbors.
Yep.
Yep. Exactly. So
So hopefully that helps you make a good decision and pick the best generator for your camper. How was that?
we're so dumb.